Hey guys, welcome back to Trekyards. He is Commander Cockings.
And he is Captain Foley, and he is revealed as, not him, but other him is revealed as Voq. Tyler, Lieutenant Ash Tyler is actually Klingon Voq, the best not kept secret in Trek. A reveal as easy as, wow, that character disappeared in one episode, a new one appeared in the next episode. That's weird. But hey, great plot point. I'd kind of preferred if they'd said it from the start, like just giving it away. Could have seen it grow. But made it more interesting. But hindsight, whatever. So now it's been confirmed. I want to discuss with you what happens next, because it can do anything from here. What do you think?
That's really interesting because, yeah. Because as we know, he became the torchbearer. Voq became the torchbearer, which was part of T'Kuvuma's cult to keep Klingons Klingon. So not let the Federation come in and try to join with them and be, peaceful and whatever. They want to keep their unique identity. So his mission is to forward the Klingon cause. Meanwhile, he looks like a human and is mixed with a human.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is going to tie into Discovery's take on smooth-headed Klingons, whether Voq gets away and because he's got human genetics and maybe spreads his seed, and then I don't know what's going on. If Enterprise even happens with the augment virus, I don't know. But he is literally the first smooth-headed Klingon at this point that we know of.
That we've seen, you mean?
Yes, there could be more spies, absolutely.
Yeah.
But we also are under the assumption that there was a Lieutenant Ash Tyler on one of the ships during the Battle of the Binary Stars who has a family, who has a history, who has friends, who has all of this, because they would have checked the records when he came back. So he's been, I don't know how they exactly did it, whether they took, we've talked about this in previous videos, but how they said bone crunching. So his bones are shorter, his spine is shorter, and there's a lot of scarring around his organs. So that would make me think they took Voq, shortened him to make him Ash Tyler's height, transplanted the major organs because
of the alive Ash Tyler who they had as a captive, you're assuming?
Yes.
Okay.
So did they kill Tyler, or did they make him basically a Klingon and put Voq stuff in him? So because eventually they want to switch him back. Because I wouldn't want to be a human for the rest of my life.
Well, they did say give up everything. I think. I mean, if he wants to be a martyr. I think this is a one-way ticket.
True.
You can't regrow bow. I mean, this is the future. Of course, you can. If Archer can grow forehead ridges and then they just stop. They heal. It's like, because modern science. The future. Why not? I mean, or just get plastic surgery. Again, as the guy in Enterprise said, it's going to be one of our biggest trades now because of the thousands of smooth-head Klingons. It's like
cranial reconstruction.
Yep. So I mean, hey, it's a perfected art at this point. I'm sure he can, and they can you can make himself, normal colours or blue, as some of them are now, and give himself hair. He can finally have that hair he's always wanted,
right?
Like all those cool Klingons.
Right. So I don't know. This was kind of your topic, so I want to hear your thoughts on what you think is happening next, because.
Well, it ties into the Klingon plot, but the Klingon plot has basically ended, except the thread of we need to give the cloaking, detect cloaked ships to the Federation, and then at least it becomes more of a stalemate, because then no one's got the advantage. Yeah. Okay, that's still going on, but Kuvuma's dead, Kol's dead, the big ship's dead. Yes, everyone has cloaks, but if they become useless, like the Sudaban cloaks, it kind of, okay, who cares? So the war's probably at least going to taper out without this figurehead. An internal fighter will come back. Yes, he might be able to come back and reignite it, but no one really liked T'Kuvma except his radicals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They followed him because of his death. And because they forced to fight, They brought them all there. He fired first. They had a battle. Yay, win out war. You know what I mean? There wasn't a choice of saying, oh yeah. They listened to him. They didn't really side with him fully, until he became a martyr. So... The idea of the Klingon subplot is like, what, and we answered in the previous episode, what the hell was their real plan? Because you make Voq a humanoid like Aaron Darwin, boom, okay, great. You get on board Discovery, kind of coincidental, but hey, you kidnap Lorca for that reason, ABC, okay, we'll get there, fine. So was the plan to learn about the spore drive? Probably. how do you get the information back? I mean, Tyler clearly was kind of in the head of a human. He wasn't. We didn't see flashes beforehand of him, losing time, blacking out. As an episode of Stargate where they have genetic material of a Gould, and as when they go to sleep, the Gould takes over, and when they are awake, the human. There was no sense of that. So, is he sending information off the ship? That would have been kind of interesting. No, okay. Is he going to get information back to L'Rell somehow? Well, when then? The spore drive was already kicking their asses. Wouldn't they have already done that? Is L'Rell going to use a tracking device implanted in his body to find the Discovery? Probably done that already. She's not going to tell Cole because they want to overthrow him. Okay, that's a whole other level of stuff. And then, now that she's been captured, was that part of her plan? That wasn't part of our plan. Does that help a plan? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is the plan now just to survive? I mean, even if they get out of the ship, which I don't know how she would assume they'd survive this beyond being a prisoner. Okay, they get information on the spore drive back, but only as much as they can understand. They don't understand the science. If they get off the ship with a shuttle and a data disk and manage to get away, okay, that's a bit more helpful. But we know they don't ever get spore technology, so that obviously fails. So what was the plan, and is there still any plan? Like, I'm kind of hoping that they abandon that entire Klingon subplot and go with the situation rather than the plan. So L'Rell obviously likes Voq in some sense, love, whatever. So it'd be nice if they then decide, okay, we either want to help a Klingon, we want to help Federation get home, and then we'll just be left alone, make a deal. Because that's more important.
Well, she asked that Admiral Cornwall, what happens to your prisoners? Will they get released after the war's over? Whatever. So I think that might be her plan, to get back with Voq and kind of have a life with him, maybe?
Well, she was trying to go to the other side, wasn't she?
Yeah.
But then what? Voq is obviously... That's the thing. Voq was interesting, because if he was half human brain, that could be interesting. But you saw his approach in this last episode. He was full-on radical back mind, purely to Klingons, and I'll kill you, no hesitation. So he's not going to stop, is he? He wants what Takuma wanted. He's fully brainwashed. I don't see them working with him. I don't see him doing anything else except getting killed, honestly, now. They've sort of closed that loop a little bit. I almost hope that now, just like Voq had, or Tyler had Voq flashbacks-ish, convoluted. Now Voq will have Ash flashbacks, kind of. The balance will swap the other way, but still have a sense of indecision as he progresses. So maybe it'll be more homogenous to a new being of both mind melding, and therefore, be balanced and be able to work with L'Rell. But it's like, what is the plan? Or it's almost as if Discovery had this cool idea, and then as the entire season got rewritten,
it fell apart.
They fell, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the original plan was, because it does seem very convoluted, and it's more like he wants martyrdom than anything else. But his story would have to be told, and I would assume that would be by L'Rell, however it plays out, to lead his people. He did this for you. He sacrificed his Klingon self to preserve your Klingon purity, something like that. But as you said, I mean, as the Klingon thing is fading out, we're still in the mirror universe thing, and as we discussed in one of our other episodes, if Stamets does something with the timeline, resets it, could it be that if they go back to the Battle of the Binary Stars, Ash Tyler, the real Ash Tyler, doesn't get captured by a Klingon, runs into Burnham, there would be a Tyler and a Voq. I mean, is that a way they could go with the character moving forward?
You mean the ship goes back in time rather than just his brain? Or
whatever. I mean,
cool.
Even if they reset the timeline as well. I mean, either way, it'd be an interesting take, right?
Yeah.
But I like this episode, this conversation we're having is what is next for Tyler, basically.
And L'Rell, because it's a whole subplot. It's a big theoretical subplot that's put in that we're waiting for it to be revealed. The build-up, and now it's what is the plan?
And the thing is, they made Tyler very likable. Like, he was a good character. His Burnham connection was good. Kind of
surprisingly, that we did not think would work. Actually, kind of worked. Yeah,
it brought something out in her, made her more likable. And now finding out she's been betrayed, how's that going to change her character? Will she ever be able to trust anybody again and get intimate with anybody? If they if they do the time travel thing, it could be possible that there is a Tyler and a Voq, and I don't know if we'll follow Voq's character.
Or two Vox as well.
Two Vics.
That's a hell of a transporter malfunction.
Yeah, or it could be that maybe, as we kind of talked about earlier, maybe Ash is alive, but with Voq's organs, eventually to be swapped back to make him Klingon again. That's a very convoluted and very painful process.
Yeah.
But could it be that it comes to that, where we have Tyler and we have Voq and we have them both, and we need to fix them? And is that something that you think they would do as a part of a story plot?
Well, I think they'd kill Ash.
I think they would too.
Either way. And I think to swap a human organ to a Klingon body, the amount of anti-rejection drugs would be incredible. It'd be easier just to genetically modify your lung to look more like a human lung, than take out your lung, put in a human lung, and then do trickery on the human lung to make it work in your now human, not human body. You know, it's genetic engineering. I wouldn't assume. I would assume they'd take, like, maybe do a scan of Tyler's brain and pull his memories. Well, I mean, hey, you got mind sifter technology, whatever. I mean, I can kind of buy that, you know, or do a flash clone of it into Voq's brain. Or just, you know, interrogate everything he knows, ask him 1,001 questions, you know, he had 6 months, you know, promise him release if he gives every bit of information of his life. And if you have enough information, you can create a cohesive personality, you know.
Yeah.
Because none of them knew Tyler, so who's to say he was who he was, the same sort of man.
I think the future of Tyler's character depends on, like you had talked about earlier, what was the original plan? Once we find out the original plan, we'll know more as to what his future might hold, whether there's a possibility for Tyler and or Voq to exist still.
Well, yeah, is there even a Tyler anymore? I mean, because the actor, the man, looks the same, but if he's now a Klingon, there is no more Ash Tyler. It is now Voq, who's been changed to look like a man called Tyler. There is no longer a Tyler.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, certainly not a waste of the Tyler character, because he was a means to an end. And, you know, they made him one of the most likable people to give us that payoff, you know, which is, again, very interesting, and they gave us some time. When we're trying to think about what the plan was, try and deconstruct it, you could say that maybe the plan was to get on Discovery and find a way of destroying the ship, either taking over or destroying it. And so last-ditch attempt for the Klingon Empire, if they destroy the spore drive, Kaplar, you know, and the Rel need to get on the ship to trigger him, and then if they can escape together, they can. But then neither of them knew the mission. No one outside of them, and I guess the monks at her planet, knew about the mission. The Klingons just know the spore has been taken, destroyed. T'Kuvuma's legacy doesn't go anywhere, you know, doesn't add anything. Although I guess they think Voq's dead anyway. So, but that's such a weird thing to want to do. You want to steal a ship, but even stealing the ship would be such a hefty thing to do. But I guess as you know, just like Mudd, he learned the routines. If you live aboard the ship for a year, 6 months, whatever, as Ash, and you had security with all passcodes, you know, what was it? It wasn't Data. I mean, someone in Voyager that took over the ship. All they had to do was know it. Well, I guess, you know, the Maquis Uprising, you know, live among them enough time, obviously the holiday explanation, but you know them for enough time, you can just sort of take over, you know, enough people, enough guns, you know, beam everyone. I mean, we've seen site-to-site transport exists in this universe really easily. You beam them all to the cargo bay, he takes over the ship, brings it back to Klingon space, boom. I mean, would that not be enough to get him back in the fold? You know, especially if the plan to keep L'Rell close to Cole was to kill Cole eventually. If you kill Cole, let L'Rell be in charge, she triggers Tyler, brings back the spore drive. Now they have spore and cloak, which we said at this, you know, early on in the season.
But how can you have a mantra like "remain Klingon or die" when you come back and you look like a human?
Well, because he's a martyr. I mean, it's the ultimate sacrifice. You know, they'll respect him, and he'll never be allowed to lead, but he'll be the one in the corner that they still know, or he'll kill himself. Or do, like you said, or what I said in the previous one, do the facial reconstruction. I mean, they can make him look like Voq again, and he's still Voq on the inside. I mean, change your DNA doesn't change who you are. You know, the brain is the thing you are. The body is just a shell that contains the brain, the personality. You know,
change your DNA doesn't change who you are. Absolutely, it does. But anyway, I know what you mean.
Unless it affects who you are, doesn't change who you are.
I know what you mean. It
Yeah.
just sounded funny. Because
Yeah.
you change your DNA, you definitely change who you are.
Yeah. I think honestly that the whole Voq Lorel storyline is something that Brian Fuller's original, they wrote all 13 scripts, whatever, before they started filming, and they changed episode 4 onwards, and you can tell that, it's quite obvious. So I'm thinking that probably that storyline got quite heavily modified, and they obviously had the actor booked, the costumes, all these things in place, and you can't necessarily completely redo, especially if they spent money on stuff, whatever at the time. I think that storyline kind of got lost in the change-ups. It's got more and more sliced down to the bare minimum. They used the Tyler character. That's the plot, is to give Burnham something. Is to break her. That's the reason it's there. Not
then
so
they
much.
They should have just made it like a in the vein of a fan theory that never panned out. Like Voq actually is somewhere else in the Klingon Empire right now. The whole Tyler thing was just because of his torture, and it was a misleading thing to make us think that he was Voq. That would have been more intelligent.
But like I say, it's to break Burnham though. Like revealing her psyche is now going to be wherever. She'll go further and further into the Mirror Universe vibe. That'll affect what happens, and her actions will do something later on. I mean, that's where...
Well, they could still do that with my way of doing it, because he fell for Lorel, whether he admits it or not. And he said it was a survival tactic, which it would have been initially, but maybe he was more in love with Lorel than he thought, which would still break Burnham, because...
Yeah, it'd hurt her. It wouldn't break her, but it'd hurt her.
Yeah, exactly. And she's never loved anyone before. So yeah, it would definitely affect her character.
But it would make the Tyler character really weak, though. Like breaking him all the way down to now he's just the love interest that is in himself a Stockholm love interest of a Klingon. That's all he is.
No, there could have still been some genetic manipulation or some Manchurian Candidate stuff going on that makes him be programmed for Lorel.
Well, ironically,
there's still hope.
Ironically, you just put Voq engrams, like you clone his brain, put it into Tyler's brain, and have Voq still at the colony somewhere, and let Tyler be the Manchurian Candidate, like you said, with the ultra advanced brainwashing technique.
Yeah.
He has the Voq personality underneath. Voq takes over, like Kess did, where the alien put his brain to Kess's body.
Mm-hmm.
It happens, whatever. Maybe Voq playing Tyler, who been playing him for months, and then it's actually still human, but with a Klingon mind control, could have been interesting as well. And then you get him out of it, and then Voq still somewhere else. But again, I think it got lost in translation. I think they have to rewrite a little bit on the go, and the payoff. It could be really cool. I mean, a fun turnaround was, you remember in Voyager when the Kazon Nistrum took over Voyager. Well, the guy initially got on the ship, he had a bomb in his teeth or on his fingernails. Like that was a payoff. He learns to be captured to blow up and damage the ship enough to let the other ships get in. So Lorel could easily be that sort of plant. It'll be payoff when it comes out. So I'm very excited to see where it goes, because it needs to go somewhere. Even if they're just prisoners of war that then they give back to the Klingons as a sign of peace. We'll give you back your torchbearer, who you all sort of don't like. You barely respect, and Lorel, who is now... I mean, both have got no honour. But again, the Klingons have honour in this universe. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll wrap this up. But as I said, I think the future of the character is very dependent on the original plan that they had for Voq. What was the actual plan on turning him into Tyler? Once we find that out, then we'll know more. But yeah, right now it's who knows what's going on. So
it was a payoff with just a grey forward. It's like a road where it's covered in fog. We don't even see. We saw the reveal, but not the point of the reveal.
Yeah. Not yet.
Not
I mean,
yet.
it could really pay off. It could be something really brilliant. Who knows? But yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Unless obviously the plan was very much literally Lorel, and sorry to prolong this a little bit, but Lorel gave Cole the idea of kidnapping the Admiral, so that she could then go with the Admiral back, and she says one of my conditions for to give information is seeing Tyler. She triggers Tyler, and she was surprised it didn't work. If it worked perfectly, then Tyler would become Voq. He would then pretend to be Tyler. Well, not just that. He would then, right, Laurel, okay, we're both here. We both got control. You're right, let's take the ship. That would have been the A to B to C. None of those steps really worked. And it could have been as simple as take discovery, but none of the steps worked in between.
That plan was hinging on the fact that he would be stationed on Discovery, and as I've said before, it would never happen. After being a prisoner, you would be sent back to Earth. You'd be debriefed. You'd be checked out by psychiatrists, make sure you're okay. You're not going to serve on the ship that saves you. I know they captured Lorca, maybe specifically for that reason, but it hinges so much on that one thing happening. It's just like, no.
Yeah, even with Lorca's ability to say anyone can be on my ship, there would be a mandatory medical period of a couple of weeks.
At least it would be months. I guarantee it'd be months for a prisoner of war like that.
Because remember, Klingons don't take prisoners unless they do,
which is all the time.
Yeah, and how many prisoners have they actually got from Klingons? Probably none.
Well, I think the Klingons don't take prisoners is just Federation propaganda. That was just
that'd be fun.
Rooted in their psyche, But.
It's Section 31 propaganda. Because it's a bit harsh. Say Federation do propaganda, but Section 31 could easily fake those reports, and
And Kirk's never trusted Klingons. Kirk's the one that said that. Mr. Saavik, the Klingons don't take prisoners. So he's just a racist, speciest curmudgeon.
Yep. So thanks for watching this episode on Tyler Voq, the plan, Aaron Darwin, but of the Discovery era. All good. So let us know what you think of this theory and what they think the plan is. It's great to speculate because when these prediction videos are great because when they then reveal it, we're going to either say, oh, that's what we thought. Oh, it's not what we thought. And in like a year, be able to go back and rewatch these and see our great ideas, how right and wrong we were. That's a really fun part of this, I find. So tell us what you think in the comments below. And don't just say Discovery's crap, Discovery's great. Give us your actual theory on what could and is happening. And if you think the scripting did kind of make it go a little bit wonky with that. And of course, like this video, subscribe to this channel for more great Discovery stuff every day while the show is happening on all different plot topics, and hear our thoughts as Treksperts, because people like to know what we think. We like to say what we think.
Yeah, and if you want to help us do these videos where we come up with theories and speculations, even just our regular reviews, our ship analysis, we do all that stuff as well. If you want to help us continue making these, show your support by going to our Patreon. Link is in the description below, and help us out on a monthly basis, or just head on over to trekyards.com and click the donate button for a one-time donation or a tip, just to say thank you for what we do. We do it for fun. We love doing this, but at the same time, we got to make the time to do it. So
daily videos, guys. Yeah, daily videos.
Exactly. So if you can help us out, please do so. And of course, if you can't help out monetarily, there's always sharing the video around. That's all that helps out immensely. So anyway, guys, do what you can to help, and until next time, I'm Voq, I guess. No, Tyler.
And I'm
Captain Foley.
Section 31.
I'm Captain Samuel Foley. There you go.
And I'm someone you don't know because I'm gonna wipe your brain and kill you. I don't know. Section 31. Mwah, evil. It was their plot the whole time, Stuart. Bye, guys.
Bye.